au quotidien. Ces小台
SonarFeed! Woo! Welcome to SonarFeed, episode 247. No mames!
I can't even hear you.
Are you sure?
Like you.
I guess I'll yell louder at you from now on.
There we go. That's better.
Cool. Anyway, good evening. Happy Monday, June 18th. When did we get to June 18th?
Right.
I'm both horrified and happy about it, I suppose. We're here at the lovely Berliner Pub, downtown Renton, indoors for tonight, which ultimately did seem like a good life choice because the air conditioning is working fairly well at this time. I am Tom Biro, a.k.a. Bougie Hooli. I'm joined to my left, your off-the-camera sort of Adam Weigel, at Weigel, and my right...
Mickey Turner, Turner ESQ. I'm Dave Clark, at Better Than. And all the way to the right...
I'm Steve Zakwani, Zakwani 11.
That's Steve Zakwani.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And what has become like an annual thing. We have Steve here usually around a month before the Zakwani and Friends charity game, Chardonnay. Steve needed to order his drink.
They're working on it.
And some food.
So while they're working on it, we've got a number of things we can talk about here tonight. I think I'm A, quickly finding out that we should use headphones if we're here inside the bar.
Right.
And B, it's been a pretty soccer-filled last 7-8 days since we were last on the show. But I think we want to make the best use of Steve's time while you're here, so we definitely want to talk about what's going on coming up in a couple of weeks. Talk a little World Cup with you, if that's cool, and dig in from there. So I know Dave's got some thoughts. I've got some thoughts. We probably all have questions for you, but we'd love to sort of maybe get an update from you on where things are going with the exciting day of fundraising.
Yeah, it's the 4th year. I'm trying to think what we raised last year. I can't remember, but we're going to do well again this year. Thank you. The usual guys are coming out. Former Sounders-wise, Eddie Johnson, James Riley, Pat Ioni, John Kennedy, Jimmy Traore, Gonzo, Roger Levesque, Nate Jaqua, and then other MLS guys, Jimmy Conrad, Edson Bado, another guy from way back, Aleko Eskandarian is coming this year. He'll be here. We've got a few. We've got Kevin Austin, Darius Barnes, Josh Ford's playing this year. Ocho Cinco's coming. Olba is coming. He's not going to play because he got injured, but he'll be here. I talked to him 2 days ago. So he'll be in Seattle in about 10 days.
That's
and he'll
awesome.
be at the event. Clint will be at the event. DeAndre will be at the event. Everyone's coming, man.
It's going to be a good time. So is there anything else? I mean, tickets still available?
Yes.
Anything else special, random, still available from a tickets or access or things like that that people should know about?
Yeah, the meet and greet with Clint and Olba has sold out. Not unsurprisingly.
Shocking, yeah.
The general meet and greet is still there, and in that one you can still meet some great people. And then we still have general admission and stuff. I think even if you don't get a meet and greet, you still get so close to the players.
Yeah,
we're accessible. We'll be around, and there's always Sounders guys who come to the game. You know, I hope Schmetzer and those guys will be there as well. Adrian's going to be there. I spoke to him, so. Just everyone. It's in the midst of a stressful season.
Yeah.
It's a nice, relaxing day.
The timing is going to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
I think
the day after Portland Sounders. So.
Yeah.
Is that kh.eventbrite.com again?
KH18.
Oh, kh18.eventbrite.com.
Yeah.
And
the link's in my Instagram bio. It's all over my Twitter. They'll find it. So.
Did you forget his name, or are you no longer pandering to me? Is Mike coming this year, or Facito, or is he too busy golfing?
Unfortunately, no. I did talk to him. It just didn't work out this year. I'll try and get him next year. For you.
There we go. I appreciate it.
He's playing golf somewhere. How do you think Mike would have fared at the U.S. Open this weekend? Because they got killed.
Yeah. No, he's... From what I know, like, the guys that used to play golf on their off days, Jeff Park, Evans, Facito was in that group, and I never went. From what I know, he was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
So, and if he's still going all these years later, he's got to be at least average. So
he's like the coach at Harvard now.
There you go. You go.
So people who've legit played golf a long time go to Harvard,
and he's teaching them.
And he's teaching them. Okay.
Then he's the man. So yeah,
that basically
I love that guy,
says it right there.
Yeah.
And you could do a. Thank you. We do have. Is it a link? No. It's just we have the URL up on screen, so that's good for folks. We'll leave that overlaid up for a bit, which is great. So, for those that maybe haven't tuned in before, don't necessarily know about the event, can you just give us 2, 3, 4 minutes of backstory?
Yeah, fundraising, man. I started my foundation now in 2010, so 8 years. We've done many things. This is the best thing we've done. I guess the area for me that made sense was when I was growing up in London, and my dad saw that my brother and I could play this sport on a Monday. The following weekend, we were on a team. No fees, no, paying for uniform, paying for travel. And in the States, it's a massive obstacle financially for a lot of good kids who just can't make ends meet. So if a family has 2 or 3 kids, that could be 10, 15 grand a year just to play soccer. So we try to kind of be the middleman and help as many kids as we can. Over the years, we've helped so many kids. We work with some of the clubs here in Washington, Pac Northwest, Surf, a few others, just through Washington Youth Soccer. And the goal was just to give kids an opportunity to not miss out due to finances, and coupled with that, we help kids from the Congo, where I'm from, go through 4 years of school. So this game is like, it's the lifeblood for me, because without it, we can't help all these kids. And we've had one kid graduate, the second one's graduating this summer, and for me, when I get those emails or messages, that makes all the stressful nights of trying to book 20 flights for ex-pros worth it. It makes it worth it. So it's a fantastic event, man. Try to put on a good one. The first 45 minutes is very good, and then we slow down. So just expect that, but it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Did you expect it to kind of blow up as it has when you started out?
No, every year I don't. Every year we do it. If 100 people come, I'll be happy. If 10 come, I'll be happy. It's like whoever comes, people want to support us. I think obviously Marshawn helped us last year. Yeah. I did see him as well, but he can't come back. He's suspended from the red card, so he won't be back. But yeah, it's just been great, man. I'm not surprised because it's Seattle, but every year I kind of pinch myself on the day just to say, like, this is amazing, and let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Some of the things that you do are scholarships for like local kids, and I know part of that, it's not just be good at soccer, but it's about giving back to the community. Yeah. How many of the local scholarships have you awarded so far, and what's the pace look like for this next year? I know the goal was
50 in 5 years.
50 in 5 years.
We're on track, maybe even ahead. So for the kids who it's hard to pick, and I try and stay out of it because it's very hard, but they send in essays. We fill out a very comprehensive questionnaire. A lot of it's community-based and making them aware that you're getting this privilege, be active in your community from a young age. I wanted to do 50 in 5 years. This year we're going to be able to do 5 brand new soccer scholarships, which is the most we've done in 1 year. And then next year hopefully we'll get to 8 or 10. I'm hoping we can do maybe a little bit more than 5. 5's kind of my hope, but we'll do 5 this year. We did 3 of those last year, so it's growing, it's moving. We're doing a good job.
Excellent. You said Oba's going to be there.
Yes.
Does that mean I know he's injured, but is he going to sign for the Sounders then? Somebody had to ask. It's like the biggest dream for probably about 60% of the fan base, right? Like
the same way you guys feel, I feel the same. So when we talk, like the last time we spoke I was in New York. We had just lost the game, and I got to my hotel room and there was a message from Oba. And with people I said he was coming, I knew he was coming, but he's a very last-minute person. So he finally confirmed to me his dates of coming, of travel. And I said, hey, how fit are you? You know, he goes, no, I'm not quite there. I said, maybe we'll get you, you know, out on the training pitch to see how you feel, as a joke, but half serious, because I would love nothing more than for him to come back here and end his career here. I think he has 2-3 good years, even after this injury. He's so just physically gifted and natural. And for me, he's the best player I've ever played with in my life. He's the best teammate I've had in terms of ability. Oh, thank you. And I would love to see it. And I know Clint misses him. I know that for a fact. And I think we all do. But for this event, he's just going to come out, wave a little bit, sign some T-shirts, and then probably head home.
So who's going to do the backflips?
You?
I have never. I have no idea, man. No idea. Maybe DeAndre. He's coming.
So as always, truly, it's going to be a great time. I always enjoy. There's moments you're out there, and I'm like, oh look, there's Steve tossing 19 step-overs on someone just to do, and it's fun to see. And I think the interesting thing when you look at, you know, soccer, football, whatever you call it, compared to a lot of other sports, is there's a lot of great like charity events and all-star games and things like that. It's just a different animal because the players can sort of control the pace and have some fun and, you know, goof around a little bit, and you can hear it.
Yeah.
Especially at some place like Starfire, where the access to the field is really, really different. So I don't think we need to tell most people, but if you haven't come out to this, it's genuinely really fun time.
Yeah.
The access we have is crazy. It's criminal compared to other places, and I think the ability to, you know, bump into people in the parking lot and whatnot is a really, really, really cool thing.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
Or even on the field afterwards. I know it wasn't part of the formal meet and greet, but basically players just stood around and the fans flooded the field.
The guys like it, man. The guys like meeting the fans. There's no pressure. It's a relaxed atmosphere. So if you come out, like, there's no telling. Like last year, I remember one of the most feedback we got was people saying just how friendly Clint Dempsey was. Just how accessible he was. He was there with his kids and his family, and he was shaking hands and meeting people, and it'll be the same this year. So DeAndre will be there as well. Like, just seeing those guys, past, present, Sounders future all together, I think it's pretty incredible.
Speaking of past and present, 2 of your previous charity players came out of retirement, essentially, after appearing in your game.
I know.
Landon and then Gooch.
Yeah. Wait, Landon's one surprised me. Gooch, I kind of had a feeling. Landon did it twice. So, but again, nothing about Landon surprises me anymore.
Leon just terminated the contract. So
I did see that.
Are you going to drag him up north?
Not in time for this. I think Landon needs to lay low for a little bit. So.
Yeah, right.
Another episode. Yeah.
What about the kind of the logistics? You talked a little bit about that. How much goes into bringing all of these players up, and how much time do you spend on that stuff?
It's a lot, man. I wish I could take credit, but there's so many great volunteers and stuff at Kingdom Hope. They do all the work. I put the finishing touches, or I make the initial ask because I have all the guys' contacts, and then once I'm done, I'm out of it, man. I'm just the face of it, taking the credit, but it's really not me. It's everyone else. And it's difficult because you're dealing with so many different people. Sometimes we might ask someone in February and they have no idea where they're going to be. Like a guy this year, Mike McGee, really wanted to come out, but we just weren't sure with his schedule. And then it comes to a point you got to make a decision. It's like, all right, we'll try again next year. So that can be tough. There's guys I know will always be here because this is like on Eddie Johnson's calendar. It's circled, and he circles it and then points at arrow and writes MVP because he wants to win it. So he's really motivated. So there's a few guys I know are coming. We try and mix the squads up every year, but it's just tough because everyone's schedule's different. Look at Jimmy Conrad. He's like all over the world, but he's still going to make it that day in and out. Jack Dewsbury. So there's a few guys who I wish could come and can't quite make it, but it's difficult, but the day of it makes everything worth it, man. It really does.
Who do you think that people in the stands will heckle more, Jimmy Conrad or Jack Dewsbury?
That's a great question. I've got to go with probably Jack. Jimmy can be a little bit likable and he's, bubbly.
Yeah.
Jack just has a very strong Timbers connection. He still works there, obviously. All in good fun, obviously, but I would
he kind of played off it last time.
Yeah. He likes it. So I would say Jack.
I was told not to yell at Landon Donovan by someone there, and he's like, "This is for the
security
kids."
Guy told him to.
Yeah,
stop yelling.
and we were like,
really?
we were like, we know, and he's waving at us. So, cool.
He had a blast. He loved it. Yeah,
he's say what you want to say. I think match day kind of thing, or in that situation, he's generally pretty in it for fun and having a good time.
He
so
is.
Good on him. I mean, he doesn't need to show up.
He doesn't. You're right. So I've known Landon for a long time. I know Landon well. We talk. You don't have to ask, but with a thing like this weekend and stuff like that, like it didn't come out well. But I always know his intentions are always good. Like he's that kind of person. I think the execution was horrible, but for me, I have a soft spot because he's helped me out so many times, just like flying up here for the event. Yeah. When I've wanted to talk to him, have advice, no matter what he's doing, he'll drop it. So I love the guy, and I just feel like, I was watching what happened this weekend, but knowing him, his intentions are always good. It might not have come out right, but he meant well with what he was doing, or what he said. So.
Well, I think we can all say there's a moment where we're like, we're a little hot right now. I probably shouldn't have sent that tweet.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Unfortunately, it's like him talking with Boca Negra, and then Herc piled in, and it just spiraled out of control.
Man. Social media, so.
It sort of is what it is.
I never make mistakes on social media.
No one in this bar has, I don't think.
Well, speaking of the game, who are the captains and how are you picking the teams?
So the teams go through, I'm not involved with it, and we pass it through some coaches I trust, and they split the teams down the middle as they see fit. And the captains this year is going to be Jimmy Traore and Gonzo. So we're putting the two assistants against each other, give them some motivation. And I haven't told him yet for sure, but we're trying to get Preki and Schmetz to coach opposite teams. So if that pans out, I'll be pretty good.
I'm surprised Preki didn't want to play. He's still got some goals left in him, right?
Preki would steal the show, man. Listen, when I came my rookie year, I was playing for the Sounders. I used to, in training, one of the names that was always mentioned to me by the older guys who knew Preki was to watch Preki's videos. I watched so much film on Preki, like such a good player. And I'm glad he's back here in Seattle. I've had some good talks with him. I looked up to Preki, man. Preki was a fantastic player. And so if it worked that he could play, he would be playing. But it just didn't work out this year.
So I'm going to be there streaming.
Yeah.
And I've been recruiting some volunteers right now in the chat room. And Emily wants to know if she runs the scoreboard, can she make some goals worth more than others?
Go ahead. As long as they're mine. I don't care.
Is that me? No? Yeah,
that's
another one of these.
That's really funny.
I didn't order cream. No, my bad.
Wow. That's funny.
So, we talked a little bit about Oba. Anybody else that you're just like, wow, I'm super looking forward to seeing that person, or I haven't seen them in a hot minute, anything like that?
Yeah, it's everyone. Like, one of the best teammates, Jack Dewsbury, I have a lot of respect for him. He was a great teammate to me. I remember when I retired, Jack really reached out to me. He was great. I like Jimmy Conrad. Ocho Cinco, if he makes it, he's always great.
He's one for two, right?
Yeah, he's one. Yeah.
We're just going to bank on that he makes it,
and
then he beats everyone at FIFA the previous day.
So we'll just see. But then my friends like Eddie Johnson, we don't see each other as much as before, but we talk all the time. We'll try and get him up here actually in a couple of weeks. If you guys want him, he'll be up here. So
you okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we'll bring him up here. So EJ, everyone, I think it's just like, and we get together on a Saturday before, just because it's a chance for us to all see each other. And it always works out well, sharing stories, playing against each other, having some of the battles we had back in the day. I was drafted the same year as like Kevin Austin, the Rice Barnes. Those were my draft class, but all out of the league now. So it's a great weekend for me as well, kind of to catch up with people that I haven't seen in so long. So that's important too.
So will you, other than you, will other people be going to the match? as well?
The Sounders Timbers
Yeah.
game? Yes. So I have a suite at the game.
Excellent. That's like if you get invited to that suite, it's like the most fun time ever.
It's going to be like 20 former pros in that suite. So, yes, we're all going to be there watching the game. And I'm not working that day. I'm going to just
your
watch.
service charge is going to be real high.
I bet. Depends. If we're losing, even higher. So, yeah.
We heard that there is going to be sparkling rosé for that match because it's Timbers and then rain that evening.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all day rosé. We're all going to die.
If they do that, for me, it's over. It's over. So, we'll see, but
I kind of wish you were working that match, but doing it from your suite.
The guys wouldn't let me work, man. They wouldn't let me work. So, but we'll be there. It'll be a good game. We'll be there.
Year 4. Do you already start thinking about year 5, how to make it bigger?
Yes. As soon as we're kind of wrapped up with the logistics, you start thinking ahead. And I think for the 5th year anniversary, we've got something very big planned. We'll see if we can pull it off date-wise, but I was promised a couple of years back by a certain individual that if we got to a couple more years, like 5 years, and it was a legit event, they would come. So I'm going to call in that favor. We'll see if it happens. It's legit. So
I forgot to ask. I'll just do it right now. This guy's doing the video part. Who's doing the play-by-play?
That's a great question.
Is it me? No. Oh, awesome!
I think they were last year, right? Or the year before? Yeah. 2 years. 2 years. Third year. Yeah, it's Gregor. I thought so, but yeah, Gregor.
They were so much fun.
Yeah, I love those guys.
At Zach Scott Testimonial.
Amazing.
They did really good interviews. They actually care.
Yeah.
They very much care about local Seattle stuff, which is just interesting. And it's fun to, like, having met talent from a lot of different cities. It's fun to meet people who, like, genuinely want to go have a beer or sit down and chat and whatnot. That's great. I think it's really fun to see. Not that anyone had any doubt that event would be hot from day one, the first time it was done, but it's like grown into its own thing, and it's almost like people are waiting for it.
Yeah,
you know,
I sensed that this year, and it's humbling for us, obviously, but I think it works because we're in Seattle. The people are just so supportive, great community, great soccer community, great people, and I'm not sure I could do this elsewhere, so it works because it's in Seattle, man. I think that's what I've figured out. That's why it's been successful so far.
Do you want to move on to hard soccer questions or easy soccer questions?
Let's do the hard one.
What's going on with the team?
That's a great question.
Open, but...
Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest. I think the last 2 years, the Sounders started slow, and I never panicked. Because it was like, we have so much talent, we'll figure it out. This year, I'll be very honest. First, it was the injuries. Then it was like, this guy's missing. And it was, first, listen, I've never seen that many injuries to so many key guys. It wasn't. It was like Roman, then Nico, then Ozzy, like Jordan. These are guys you're building a squad around, and they're just not available. That's tough for any coach, especially with the MLS constraints to make do with. So, first it was that. I think the hole they dug is very, very, very deep. The league has gotten better. It's tougher now to start slow and get better. However, I've been encouraged in the last 2 weeks with Victor coming back, Nico coming back, Clint looking a bit better with those guys around him, that if we get this signing who's been rumored, maybe another one, the Sounders could be in the top 2 or 3 in the second half of the season, and that should be enough for the playoffs. And then this team has shown once you get in, you'll be fine. But it's not like the other 2 years. This is different. This is worse. Let's be honest about it. Team has not played well. Been shut out 8 or 9 times, whatever it is. It's bad. Like, it's really, really bad. But a couple of good signings, your key guys being fit, coming back to form, it's a different team. If you haven't noticed the impact of Victor Rodriguez, then you're not watching because
You're
he
not
makes a
watching.
difference.
Yeah.
That's quality. Like, he has quality. Nico could have gone either way. He could have been pissed off at Uruguay and just moped about it, but I think he's the kind of guy that's going to go out there and try and prove a point. That's good. Clint is happy when he has guys around him that he feels are on his level, and he plays better. So I think we'll be okay. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say it's been good. I think it's been a horrible start to the season. Even with the injuries, should have put more points on the board, should have scored way more goals. The worrying thing was, at times, we're not even creating chances. That bothered me. Columbus Crew at home, Real Salt Lake at home, those were very bad games. Never felt we're going to score. But then, like, the DC game felt more like last year, where we're behind, but nah, we're going to find one, find two, find three. So I think we're heading in the right direction. The only unfortunate thing was after the DC win, we met a very good New York team. And I grew up with Bradley Wright Phillips. I knew he was going to score because I've never seen him not score when I'm in a stadium. And that was going to be a tough game to win. But I think we'll be okay, man. I think we'll be okay. I think we've turned the corner. We'll be okay now.
That Red Bulls game, sometimes people forget. Even in 2014, the best Sounders roster ever
Got killed.
lost 4-1 to Red Bull. Red Bull has the best record at homes,
Yeah.
2010 to the present.
It's a good team, man.
Midweek, even at full health, that's one that you
It
chalk up
was
as
tough, yeah. So.
You know what? I think my big challenge with it was Sounders won. If you read the comments anywhere, Sunday, Monday, everyone's like, the world is better.
Right.
We're totally amazing. And I'm like, maybe be like happy and go, yeah, we should be DC. This should be good. Nico looks good.
Yeah.
This looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Away on a weekday, light roster.
Yeah.
Let's be prepared. And everyone was like, yay, party, popping bottles.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay. And they look flat.
It was bad.
I need to see a good 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, and it's not to say that you can't build on any win ever.
Yeah.
Like, it happens. We've seen it before. Hell, we saw it with DC last year. Like, that comeback changed the face of the season.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not, like, you don't want to take credit away, but, like, there was some exuberance that I think was a little too much.
I agree.
Like, let's get through Wednesday without 50 more injuries. You know, get into the cup break and go from there. Yeah. And to me, like, it just felt so flat that it was almost worse than like losing on 2 sick goals. Yeah. You know, the ship goal, like, pretty happy about it. And frankly, seeing a couple of goals out of ship in a couple of different, you know, one in a tournament and one in this situation was good. Because even that guy
he wasn't getting more time.
Well, yeah, and like,
maybe.
I'm not the biggest Chip fan. I have been over his career because you saw that guy that first couple of years and you were like, wow.
I agree.
Chicago is just going to smoke people with that guy. And he's bounced a little, and that's fine. It's the potential is there, obviously, and he just can't catch a break injury-wise. Or, frankly, other people aren't injured that are in his spot.
Position. Yeah.
So it's good to see him score a couple times.
Yeah.
I would absolutely agree on Rodriguez. Like,
he's good, man.
Wow.
He's good, man.
And that's the stuff that, like, when he had a little bit of that run last year, where you were like, oh, that guy's really good.
He's good. He's good. So,
you know, and that's where it's not a negative to MLS, but that's where when MLS clubs go out and get a hitter player, even like a fourth stringer on a team in Spain or Italy, like, let's talk about, like, Javinko couldn't get minutes at Juventus. Like, let's think about that for a second.
And he's our best. Yeah.
So if you go get you get a starter in another league, that's where, you know, that's where the game changers start to happen. And if we're going to have a healthy Lodero and a healthy Rodriguez and so on and so on and so on, but that, like, forget the spine discussion because I think that's a bigger long-term one. The Alonso thing, that was hard to watch. And it's been a really long time since I remember having a game where I was like, nope, what happened?
It's probably the first time I felt that way too. I don't know how ready. I know he's pushing because he wants to play. I don't know how ready he was. In preseason, I said if we can get 20 games out of Alonso, and 15 of them are Osvaldo Alonso, and 5 are human, we'll be happy.
Right.
And then just make sure he's there for the playoffs. I'm on the outside, I can say these things. Ozzy doesn't think like that. He wants to play 34 games. He wants to be the man. Whether his body cooperates, I don't know. Same with Clint. If I was Clint, I would pick and choose the games I play. I'd come off the bench. I would save myself for the... If you have Clint, you give me 6 weeks in the playoffs with Clint Dempsey, motivate, I'll take it. 34 games, a bit tougher. But I know Clint well, and he doesn't think like that. He wants to still play every game, and so it's tough, man. But
there's Clint Dempsey, and then there's angry Clint Dempsey.
Yeah.
And this Clint Dempsey is still better.
He's good, man.
Than many people.
I saw a lot of Clint slander, and that's the one guy. I wouldn't write him off. Like, that's the one guy I just like. I've seen too much. He will score. He's gonna find ways, and I think he's had a rough start to the year. I think he ends the season strong. The signing's gonna motivate him because he'll look at it as a new good guy to play with, someone to push me. I think Clint's gonna be fine. You need Clint for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is, and. Yeah, it's been a bad start, but I think the Sounders make the playoffs. The team's too good not to make the playoffs. You don't have Nico and Ozzy and Christian and these guys and miss the playoffs in this league. I think we'll be okay. And then once you get in there, you never know. But talking's good, but you got to get results. And I think we will. I do think we will.
You've talked about Nico's return a little bit. He's slotted in a couple different places this year. And he looked really good as that deep lying playmaker.
It's growing on me. And here's why. It keeps him far apart from Dempsey. They're not in each other's space. They're not in Victor's space. He's the best passer in terms of picking out a key pass, a key run. If he's alongside Ozzy or Christian, it works. Because those guys will do the work of 2 men defensively. Christian's so honest, works so hard. I think Christian was a little bit pissed off in New York. I could tell last 10 minutes he wanted to just hit someone with a big tackle because he was frustrated. But he'll do the work of 2 men. Ozzy at his best will do the same. So Nico will have to defend, but not as much. And he can be kind of your quarterback from deep, playing balls. And then it allows Clint to be that higher. When they're close together, they're good. But Nico's not over. He's not give and go and move. Nico is give it to you and then give it to me right back. Like I want to play the pass. So that's a balance. So Schmetzer moving him further back helps that dynamic of Dempsey and Nico. And I loved him against DC. I thought he did great. I liked him against New York when he went there deeper. Such a smart player, fantastic footballer. It might be the way going forward, but then what do you do when Ozzy's fit, Christian's fit, Gustav comes back?
Well, when this team's fit, a lot of guys are going to sit.
That's the problem.
If they're all
so
you've got Magnus Wolf-Wykram on the bench.
Good player.
You've got the Kim Keehee versus Roman thing if they're both fully fit, you know, Gustav, if he's fully fit, but everybody else makes a lot of money, but he's on the bench.
So it's a good team. That's why I don't think they will miss the playoffs. That team is too talented, too much pride. Can we go on a 7-8 game unbeaten run? Yeah, the team can. And you do that, you climb up the table. Teams will drop points. Some teams ahead of us won't stay as hot. They're going to come down. It'll even out, man. I'm telling you.
You look at Orlando. Orlando had a 6-game winning streak this year. And I don't think you'd look at them and think they're more talented than the Seattle Sounders.
They're not. Seattle, we've had better squads in Seattle, but it's a very good team. And it's a team that has lost so much already. We need a good striker. I miss Jordan. I miss him so much. We need a good number 9. And then please, a very good winger. That will be... I'll take the number 9 only, but if we can get both, you're right there. We're right there.
Do you think that, knock on wood, we have 98% confirmation that Rui Diaz is coming, and it was on the TV the other day during the game, which is great. Do you think when he arrives and then Jordan is out there with him, that Jordan decides that he wants a serious neck tattoo as well? Because that guy looks fucking badass. And I gotta tell you, Oba
hilarious.
just looks like a badass.
Yeah,
and the guy's amazing, wonderful to talk to, super chill, intense when he needs to be. I feel like this guy might be that same thing. But all jokes aside, do you think you talked a little bit about Deuce and just seeing players that like not make him better, but that he's like, okay, I can work with this. Do you think someone like that shows up and it's not like scary for Jordan, that he just looks at that and is like, okay?
I think, if I'm honest, Wilburn, Jordan will view a new striker as competition, as you should, and like go out to training and try to be better.
Sure.
But see it as a battle. It's me or them, which happens in every team. Clint is going to be smiling like I have someone to play with. That's the way he views it. Both ways are fine. Jordan will, I think, at the end of the day, everyone's such a team guy. They know, everyone can see you need, versus Salt Lake, 10 men against Columbus. If you're not playing well, we've had so many games like that in the past, and what would happen? Oba would take the ball and put the ball in the back of the net. We all go home happy. There's 3 points. You need that guy. We don't have him right now. Clint's not that anymore. So if this new guy is that, Will, Jordan, Clint, everyone gets on board in their own way. But from what I know of Jordan's personality and stuff, no, it's going to motivate them. It's competition. This guy's coming to take our spot, but we're going to play well and try to make Schmetzer's job hard. And that's good for the team. Clint is crying out for people that he thinks are on his level and make him better.
So when you talk about Clint and his struggles, would you say that it was more the injuries or the construction of the team? Because a lot of people have talked about how there were some deficiencies at the start of the season that should have been filled, especially when Jordan went down.
Both. I think Clint's old. I think that's the first thing. Clint's 35 years old. Like, no one's great forever. I've watched the best player I've ever seen in my life is Ronaldinho. I've watched him in his later years look a step slower. I saw Zinedine Zidane go out a step slower. One of the greatest players ever. Clint's 35. He was never the quickest, and he's lost a step. So that's going to be a challenge. And you can't ask him now to carry a team. He's not that player. He has to fit in around other great players, and he wants to. It didn't help that Jordan got injured. If Jordan was fit, Clint would be way better this year. Someone to play through balls to, someone to take some centre-backs away, give you space. Clint needs that. So it's a combination of both. Father Time, as they say, is undefeated. It happens to everyone. That's not Clint's fault, nothing like that. But, as I said, I've seen too much from the guy. We had a very candid conversation in New York before the game. I ran into him in the lobby. And then we spoke again after the game in the locker room. And there's nothing he said to me, no indication that his fire is different, his mentality is different. He still thinks the same. He's hungry. He wants to score goals. But partly to not being what he quite was a couple years back, and the team, just so many injuries, and he's not able to carry that load anymore. It's a combo of both, I would say.
You said Father Time's undefeated, but can we talk about Chad Marshall? Because I think he's kicking Father Time's ass.
Him and Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, Chad, I played against Chad when he was supposedly in his prime. The Chad I see now is the same.
I don't see a difference, really.
The thing about Chad, I remember playing against Chad when he's in Columbus, and I would go into the game and I knew, like, you're faster than that guy. I'm quicker. But he would always be in the right position before I even thought of running there. His timing is amazing. Chad looks like he's walking through the game. He never sprints hard. Like, he's just kind of out there. But he's so smart up here. He knows when to run, when not to run. I think it's helped him playing next to Kim Ki-hee, who has been fantastic, but it's been overshadowed because we're not doing great. Kim has been amazing. He was man of the match against DC. New York was a bit tougher because he's not aware of Bradley Wright Phillips. No one puts pressure on you movement-wise like Bradley. That guy, that's a different story.
He was constantly running in behind.
You're not used to it. He doesn't stop, and that's all he wants to do. So, but no, Chad has all my respect, man. One of the best defenders I played against. One of the best I've seen in MLS. He should go. That award should be named after him when he's retired. He's the standard for centre-backs coming into this league. He's amazing, man.
I started thinking about it, and I'm like, who do I vote for Defensive Player of the Year this year?
Yeah.
And he's in my top 5 again.
I'm not surprised. It should be.
And I'm like, okay, the team's losing, but they still have a top 3 defense in the league.
It's the weirdest thing. Like,
And
yeah.
Well, they're not getting torched.
Every
if
other
they were getting
player,
torched every night, we'd all be having a different discussion.
It's weird.
and it doesn't matter who the defensive mid in front of him is. It doesn't matter who his left back is. Who the right center back partner. Doesn't matter if they're playing a 5-4-1 or various 4-back formations. Chad Marshall has been one of the 3 best players on the field for a team that gives up no goals
Yes, man. You're right. Yes.
for the entire year.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
everyone gets back, what formation would you like to see?
4-2-3-1. I like to see, ideally for me, to close the year out, I love to see Christian and Ozzy next to each other. I think that still is your best 2 overall if Ozzy gets to his usual level. Then you're talking Nico, Clint, Victor, maybe a new number 9. You've got a team. So I think we miss Joven in ways that I can't even begin to describe, man. A left back getting you double-digit assists shouldn't be overlooked. He's just such a fantastic. He never got beat. Such a fantastic player. He's so smart, so cerebral, always in the right spot. He combined with Clint well as well for a defender. So maybe down the line, I think left back can be strengthened. Nuhu's there, but he's not there yet. There's moments you're seeing his youth, and I love the kid. I think in a 4-2-3-1, it gives this team the best balance if you have the right personnel. Going away to TFC, I understand the 5 in the back. Going away to maybe Atlanta, because the stuff they're doing is kind of scary. I understand that, but when we're at home, we play 4-2-3-1. We set the tempo, we dominate, we come up. That's how I always was. When I played for the Sounders, we never changed at home. Never. That week with a home game, we worked, forget what they're doing, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to dominate. So I hate the idea of us playing 5 in the back at home at CenturyLink. Like, we never did that. The mentality was go, go, go. Our team was different. We had a great balance with Sana going, I was going, Freddie would drop. It was just a good balance. But in a 4-2-3-1, I think we get something close to that. And bottom line, get your best players on the pitch. Get Nico, get Clint, get Victor, get the new signing, get Ozzy, get Christian. Just find a way to get them on the pitch, and you have a chance.
All right, since you mentioned Joven Jones, you may have. Did you read the report from Paul Tenorio about MLS rejecting
that
some?
Me. Yeah.
Just kind of generally, what are your thoughts about Joven, and what would your reaction have been if you had agreed to a deal with the Sounders and it gets submitted to MLS and they knock it down for that kind of reason?
I'm from England, and you negotiate with the club. If the club thinks you're worth X amount and they want to pay that, done. It's just weird reading that a league can veto this deal and that deal, but not that one. How do they decide? If I'm Joven, I'll be really, really upset, because I work hard in the off-season, I train hard in pre-season, I've had my career year, but I can't be compensated for that. I've had to leave, go to the 2nd division in Europe, which is great, but I'd rather stay here because they won't give me what I think I'm worth. I think that's tough. If the club want to do it and it's not exuberant, you should do it. So I read that report again. I love the way the league's going. I think they're doing a great job. Those things still bother me, because at the end of the day, I think this league has a horrible history of rewarding guys coming from the outside and not the guys that have been here help. I would love to see in 3-4 years Christian Rodon making millions, becoming a DP. I want to see that, because he's helping build the Sounders. Like, this guy is working hard every day, but they would give a kid the same age as Christian with a different passport that contract. I don't like that. So the league's got to fix that. Reward the guys who are here day in, day out, building your league. So someone like Christian has to be a DP someday, or he's going to Europe. So you decide. That's the way I would look at that.
I prefer a DP.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see him get it. He deserves it.
So we want to be respectful of your time, but you still have some Chardonnay.
No, I'm here.
We're good.
We're good.
So you'll
I'm
be here
here.
for a little bit.
We're good.
We could either talk a little bit about prediction, or we could talk a little bit about World Cup.
Mr. World Cup, a little bit, and we'll come to prediction. Yeah.
First off, World Cup. You have a long connection to England.
Yeah.
What did it feel like watching them finally succeed?
It's weird because coming into the World Cup, I've not followed England much, like not that closely. When the game was on today and the anthem was playing and I saw the guys, it just brought back so many. Like growing up in England, I remember 2002 World Cup. It was in Korea and Japan. You were getting days off school anytime England played, and being such a fan of Beckham and Gerrard and Lampard, Ashley Cole, Michael Owen, that golden generation who should have done more, it brought back those memories. So watching the guys today made me proud. Like, especially people like Raheem Sterling is from where I'm from, and he's in the World Cup. Like, I'm an England fan, so I thought England played amazing in the first 45. That questionable penalty just killed the game, our momentum.
That was a polite way of saying
very,
penalty.
very questionable.
I thought it was legit.
Yeah. And then to see them win was great, man. So that's my team. I'm tempering my expectations because every year growing up was always, it's our year, we're going to win it. And then we play Brazil, lose. Play Germany, lose on penalties. Play whoever.
The US.
Clint had that lucky goal. So that was Clint, right? 2006, but no, it's good to see them do that. The big teams haven't done well. It's surprising. Like the big Germany.
It's amazing.
It's great. Germany, Argentina, Brazil. It looks like just whatever. The only guy so far who's gone to script is Cristiano. Like no one else has really done that. Like, what he did, honestly, that's amazing, man. What Cristiano did.
Do you think and in the post game, Alexei was referring to used Hack-a-Shack as the comparison, and having like grown up at a time where I watched that, like the Bulls, Orlando, like the first time that happened. Forget the Lakers Shaq.
Yeah.
That was a real thing during like brutal NBA. And every team was like, oh wait, you could just foul the crap out of this guy and it changes the game? Okay. Yeah. And they would just cycle players onto the field to do it. And then you saw it again with Hazard. And now I'm like, okay, this is a thing. Like, I think we're going to see this for everybody.
I don't like it, man. I think I'm a fan of, we know Neymar's dangerous, we'll be close to him, we'll be physical, that's fine. But just deliberately fouling and sending a different guy every time, the referee's got to know what's going on. Send a yellow card right away, it stops it. So it ruined Neymar's game. Like every time he got the ball, he knew I'm going down in the next 3 seconds.
His first 2 free kicks were awful for Neymar.
It ruined his game. So
clearly it affected his game.
Yeah.
Now, I think you're going to start seeing somebody either get tossed or they're going to get a quick yellow.
You have to. So I've been in locker rooms where it's like, that playmaker hit him in the first 5 minutes, let him know he's in a game. That's fine. It's in the game.
I mean, that's every sport.
Not every 5 minutes.
Every time you touch the ball, every one of you, if you haven't done it yet, you get your first foul on him. It's not good visual, even for fans. Like, I appreciate the defensive part of the game. The offensive part, they're both art to me, but not consistent, petulant fouling on the same guy just to disrupt him and referees letting it go. I think it ruined Neymar's game. Hazard got a little bit. Messi gets it all the time. And you're punished if you don't dive. Messi doesn't dive. So Messi gets punished for being an honest player because he's getting kicked all day. And, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be a yellow for that rotating, persistent infringement. It's supposed we
don't see it though.
But you don't see it get called often enough.
Yeah, I think there was a game against DC, and they kicked Giovinco basically out of the game, and they got a result out of it. So they were never punished for it.
Rosales used to get that here.
Oh my God, he used to get kicked all the time. We remember that.
He'd suffer like 6 fouls. Nico
gets it.
Nico might not. I don't know that they target Nico
10 minutes
like that.
Yeah.
In some ways, Nico goes down.
Yeah, I remember Mauro getting it a ton. Freddie. We're going to games and people would just... I've had people on other teams tell me, we had our scouting video meeting, our coach told us the first time Montero, the first time Zakuani touched the ball, if they're not on the ground, like you're not doing your job. Like I've had rivals that I'm friends with now tell me that. So it happens. I'm not a fan of it, but until referees start just instant yellow card, we're going to keep seeing it, man. And it's not good.
So in the World Cup, you said that the big nations, really the ones that performed, Portugal did, England did.
Yeah.
Of the small nations, who's been impressing you of the ones that you came into this and you were like...
Is Mexico a small nation? I don't know.
If Hugo's here, yes.
Mexico were impressive in that first half. Very. Happy for them. They were great. I think, man, like, look at what Sweden did. Like, just getting 3 points on the board, I think that's great. Portugal was a small nation to Spain, because Spain's a way better team. So they had a fantastic game plan. They've got one of the 2 best players in the world, and he showed up. So I'll probably say Mexico playing against Germany, everybody's favorite, to get that result, and it wasn't really lucky. They were good value, especially in that first 20, 30 minutes. Probably been the most impressive, Mexico. I thought Panama did well for a long time today.
Yeah.
Until that first goal went in. I thought Panama held up well. I thought Roman looked good, and then that first amazing goal.
That one back pass. I was on the bus this morning, and I watched it, and I was like, like cringing. But no, I would agree. Like they were
good, yeah,
and not in a like hang on kind of way. Like they were in that game.
Yeah,
They had some shots.
yeah.
Although Blas Perez at 37. He's not torching people down the field, but I have
know.
to tell you, Godoy and some of those other players, man, on a counter, I don't want to face that.
Yeah. So Panama and Mexico probably, man.
So I think a lot of people, for the Mexico match, a lot of people just talked about like Germany didn't X, Germany didn't Y. You looked at those lineups, like I watched that graphic go up, and I'm looking at the midfield for Germany, and I'm like, this is like a video game dream.
It's
those 3. And then you see that Mexico threw basically 5 players in the middle, and you go, oh, okay. And I gotta say, like, I watch a decent amount of Liga MX, not a ton of Eltri, but enough. That was, they tactically
it was amazing.
beat Germany.
That's my point. Yeah.
And like, for a team that can't keep a manager, you beat Germany.
That's why I agree. It wasn't like holding on or we're going to shut them down. But they had a game plan, executed so well. And that coach was the New York Red Bulls coach when I played. So seeing him even on that level to execute such a game plan, and I've heard great things about him, it was great. I'm always a fan of the underdog if it's not my team, always. So I want the big teams to lose. So that was a great win by Mexico. Great win.
Speaking of underdogs, if Mo Salah can come back and play, does Egypt get out of the group, or is that first result too bad?
I think it's a hold. I think Uruguay beats Saudi Arabia tomorrow. And if Egypt lose, then they're done. So you have to win. So you kind of have to play Mo Salah, even if he's not 100% maybe. I don't think they get out of the group. I would love to see Salah play more. I want to see him do well and then win the Ballon d'Or this year. But no, Uruguay beat Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. And then Egypt, I'm not sure they get 3 points even tomorrow. So whenever they play, so I don't think so, man.
It's going to be another World Cup then, because Egypt's the strongest of the African clubs this time, or nations.
Yeah.
And it's going to be another World Cup where Africa struggles.
Like Nigeria should have done better. They were let down. Tunisia, I got what I expected. I did want England. Morocco, that own goal killed. So yeah, it's like we haven't done well, African nations yet. Egypt probably still maybe the best hope, but Nigeria should be able to.
They can still
they should
make waves.
Because what we saw of them, that's not them. They're better than that. So hopefully they can redeem it a little bit. Hopefully.
As I'm going to totally basically control this because it's my own personal thing. You have sub-Saharan African. That's a big thing to you.
Yeah.
I have some connections to the Arab world. As somebody that was born in Africa, and you still look like the diaspora means a lot to you.
Yeah.
What's it mean to only see like one sub-Saharan nation at the World Cup?
I think about those things a lot because I think about it from this perspective. When I was playing, and I think when I had like my great year in 2010, it was like, which national team are you going to? And my first answer was like the Congo. I was born there. That's like my family's background. I would love to play for them. I played a friendly game for the Congo, and then it was like Sunil calling my agent like he can't play again. Like he needs to get his green card and play for the US. And then my dad, who's like from the Congo through and through, like, son, like I know you want to be proud and make us proud, but play for the US. It's like it's more of a career decision. So he said I'd be okay with that. So Vincent Kompany, Lukaku, they're from the Congo, both of them. Like imagine they played for the Congo. I always think that. Bosingwa, who was at Chelsea years ago, from the Congo. Claude Makalele, who played at Real Madrid and France, national teams from the Congo. We have great players who end up playing for their European or other nations. So it's tough to see that. I hope it gets better. I think there's so many talented players in Africa. The best player in Sounders history is an African Nigerian international. I think those guys, yeah, it's just, for me, when I look at it from that perspective, from African lens, or minority lens, then yeah, I'd like to see more. But then I struggle because I also feel very English this morning after 3 points. So I don't know. It's tough.
Anyone, and I know we're barely one match in, not even all the way through, anybody that you've seen so far that just jumps out at you is like, wow, international stage, that player's going to either make a move or they just put some money in their own bank account?
Yeah, I mean, let me see. Well, the obvious ones. I love, my favorite player to watch is Kevin De Bruyne. Like, just to watch. Love Man City. Love watching him today.
Dude, he makes no expressions.
He's in his own, he's cruise control.
Nice, man.
And it's incredible. That assist to Lukaku, that's so hard to do. Outside, I don't know how he does it. So, people like him, I love Messi, I love Cristiano, all the big names. Has anyone stuck out? No, I think like the last World Cup, I remember James Rodriguez really sticking out and being like, who is that guy? I don't think anyone's done that.
I mean, give it 2-3 games maybe.
Yeah, I think teams, Mexico surprised me what they did. Panama.
Yeah.
I told Roman before he left, as a joke, you guys are going to keep the engines running, like as a joke, because you're coming home really quickly. But no, they played well. So they were legit. Like, it's team so far. I don't think a player has hit me other than maybe the ones that I would have maybe expected a little bit, like De Bruyne and Cristiano.
Well, maybe because he's in some ways failed on that stage often enough, but Cristiano, like nobody expects him to do that anymore because yes, he's scored in 8 straight international tournaments, but he hasn't carried them up to their expectations. And I think that game against Spain, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is like, obviously he's the leader right now for the golden boot, but it's funny to see somebody who is at the absolute top of their game and they live up to it like that.
And more, what's been said about him has been said. I have no words because 33 years old, and he's been, 10 years at the top now, really, him and Messi, since 2008 going at it. He's last year in Manchester. To still be doing that free kick in the dying minutes.
That was insane.
Like, you can't write that script. And he seems to always be the guy who has those moments. And it's not coincidence. This is probably just years and years of dedication. I have so much respect for him because I know he comes across as flashy and kind of ego, but he works hard. Like, you don't get those results without working hard. And I think playing against the country which he plays, Spain, players that some of his teammates, I knew he was motivated, but I did not expect a hat-trick against Spain with a free kick in the last minute. Like, he's incredible. Cristiano and Messi do that all the time. It's become so normal and it's not fair on them. Because when Messi has an average game like he did, he's bad. But anyone else, that was a pretty decent game. And people miss penalties all the time. So I think those two are just... I get excited watching them for moments like that. They do things that... They make ridiculous things seem normal. Like Cristiano scored a hat-trick, of course he did. But when you really think about it, you shouldn't be able to do that in the way he did. He's incredible, man.
And, sorry, go.
How about the most disappointing or damaging performance?
Oh, there you go.
I think Argentina wasn't good. I could list off the players they've had in the last 15 years, and they've underachieved. Like, they don't have a style. It's too Messi dependent. They don't have to be. They've got Dybala, they've got Higuain, they've got Aguero. You've got a great team. Fit Messi into it. It's like, for whatever reason, everyone shrinks around him, and it's like, you do everything. I don't know if he creates that culture or they do. I don't know, but Argentina should be way better than they are. Play better. Like, they have a good team. They've got great players, and for whatever reason, they've never had a style. And they should have done way better against Iceland in that game. Iceland looked comfortable, looked at home. I thought Brazil came out with that flashy samba first 20 minutes. The fouls took a toll on Neymar. When he was out of the game, they weren't the same. But I might say Argentina. I expected more, and I'm the biggest Messi fan. I think he's the greatest. But they look his penalty looks very just casual. They looked lethargic. And I think they've got to be way better. They've got a tough game against Croatia, that's a good team. So they're in danger. They have to win. So it's Argentina, man.
I think you bring up a couple of good things. I listen overnight to the radio, and I'll stream some stuff, and I listen to TalkSport.
Yeah.
And they must have spent 45 minutes about how Messi isn't the best player on the team, but there are really good players on that team, and that you need to rely on them. And the funny thing for me was, having watched him play at CenturyLink a couple years ago, they cheered him on the field. He didn't need to be in that game.
Yeah.
He's on the field, and I literally said to the random person next to me, I go, I'm just going to watch Messi and not do anything else. And I literally looked up for a second and lost him. And then he was in the area with the ball. And I'm like, oh, okay. And you talked about Chad earlier and like the efficiency of it. Messi is fast, can do things, isn't necessarily the fastest player out there ever.
Yeah.
I don't even know how fast he is. But he does these things, and he's like, oh, I'm going to stalk you for a second and then just waste you at the end.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to watch that. And that's where World Cup, I think, again, compared to so many other sports,
so
he makes you like lull to sleep for a second.
That's exactly it. We played against them in 2009. It was Leo Gonzalez's debut. So I've got this Costa Rican behind me at left back, can't speak English. All he knew was Zakwani, just yelling my name the whole game. He's going against Messi. I'm like, even if I come back, I can't help you. Like, he's going to do what he wants to do. But I learned that day how good this guy was, because it was pre-season. He didn't want to be out there. He was strolling around. The 2 times he chose to sprint, he scored. And we were working hard, and we couldn't score. So I just realized, like, he's on a different level. One of the greatest dinners I ever had in my life was in 2012 at the Olive Hyatt in Seattle. The New York Red Bulls were in town. They had just played Portland, and Thierry Henry had got a red card against Portland. So he was suspended for the Seattle game, but he stayed in the Pacific Northwest. And I'd been wanting to meet Henry. Like, listen, how you talk about Messi? I grew up in London at Arsenal. Henry was Michael Jordan, Messi, Steph Curry in one. This was different. I used to go to games as a kid with my dad watching that man. And when we played against Barcelona, I was like on to Freddie Ljungberg, like, tell T that I want to meet him. And Ljungberg introduced me to him. And we just shook hands. For me, that was like the best thing ever. So when he came to New York, I had a connection on the Red Bulls. I'm like, look, you send Terry a message, say Steve Zakwani will buy you dinner, whatever it takes. I don't care. He probably will say no, but just say it. And I get a text like at 5 p.m. Like, can you be here in an hour? And I'll be there in 10 minutes. Like, I'm coming. Like, this is Thierry Henry. And I went there, and he came down in the lobby, and then I felt like I'm like in a video game. Like, this is Thierry Henry. And we sat down. The first thing he says is like, oh, how's your leg? Because I was rehabbing. And already I'm like, how you know about that? And we started talking about it. And then he had to go out for a team dinner. So I shook his hand. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to you later. He's like, no, stay here. I'll be right back. Goes up, comes back. We stayed there till like 2 a.m., man. And conversations. And I bring that up because, I asked him, who's the best player you've played with? You're great, but who have you played with? And he said, Zidane, unbelievable. Ronaldinho probably could move the ball without touching it, he says. He goes, Bergkamp, amazing. Iniesta, incredible. He goes, but Messi, he goes, you have not seen that guy until you've trained with him. He goes, he could do what he wanted, when he wanted, against whoever, it didn't matter. And to hear my idol talk about Messi like that, that's always pushed Messi above in my eyes. If that's what Thierry Henry thinks, and I've seen enough with my own eyes, he has to be what they're saying he is. Guardiola says it. Xavi says it. Ronaldinho says it. So I don't care what he does in this World Cup. It's so cemented in my brain, his greatness, and then sharing the picture of him at 13 years old, playing against Barcelona. When I was at Arsenal, Cesc Fabregas, PK Messi, they won 6-2, he scored 4. And then playing against Messi as a pro, they won 4-0, he scored 2. So I don't care what it is, what you said, he lodges to sleep. He walks around, all of that. When he wants to play, he's unstoppable.
So to me, the flip, this is just, again, having watched a lot of soccer, but not ever played anywhere near the level you've talked about.
Right. I saw you score 3 in pub. No, I didn't.
You didn't. I did have a really good penalty a couple of years ago. But anyway, so you watch Messi. Messi plays his game, and maybe it's that any player at that level just, they play their game. It's not, I'm going to beat this defender or whatever. It's just, I can do this, whatever.
Right.
Some part of Brazil has always felt to me like, we're beating you. And it's different. That said, to give them a major, major compliment, we watched this game yesterday with my girlfriend's parents, and her father's from England. And we're watching this game, and there's a couple points where he just looks at me and he's like, what? And it was just nuts. Like, they had one series, I don't know, it was probably 60, 70 minutes in, and it was like 5 or 6 passes in a like between here and that banner, and it was so flawless that you like wish you could do that, and you're like, if I could do one of those passes, and it's like they just know, and it's such a different game. And the, like, as somebody who's grown up doing taekwondo and playing baseball, like, that's the stuff when people talk about beautiful game and trite things. That's the thing. You watch that, and like, you can like any sport ever. You can be a NASCAR fan and you watch 7 people do that.
You're absolutely right.
And you're like, what did you just do? Because you just sliced up a defense who, for a minute, had been holding you down, and they don't even appear to be trying, and it's so crazy to watch a team where you're like, Marcelo or William are like, not afterthoughts, but they're not the focus, let alone the midfielders for a second. You look at that team and you're like, that's not even the best play. That would be the best player on any team I've watched in multiple MLS matches. And that guy subbed in. You know, and it's like when Dempsey subs in and you're like, but it's so interesting to watch because they literally play a different game within the same confines as rules as anyone else, and that's amazing.
You're right. Growing up, everyone had a team. I was England, but everyone's second team was Brazil, because I tuned in to watch Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Kaká, Robinho. At times, they had no formation. They just went out there, had fun, just played. So,
they had no forward. I was like, do you have a forward? Who's going up there?
It's brilliant. I'm with you. I love that style. It's just in their culture. And it's, as kids, that was the team you used on FIFA. It was always your second team, no matter where you were from. So
it's funny because in America, for a generation, all 3 of us, not Adam, but the 3 of us that played video games, it was Arsenal and Barcelona for that same kind of theory, where it was all about quick passing, no formation. You know, that late 90s Arsenal,
the best man. Right there.
we fell.
Dude,
in love
I
with it
just
for
want
the
to
same
go up
reason.
and run in with Henri and swing balls in and head them with some random player. That's not the Brazil game. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No, it's just interesting that like Steve's in the Arsenal system, thinking that about Brazil when we're here growing up in the U.S. and we're thinking of Arsenal in much that same way. Like, and when he played with national teams, because they used to split off road to the World Cup from the club FIFA, and everybody wanted to play Brazil, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
'Cause-
Arsenal's up there. Yeah, you're right.
See, you said you wanted to give us about an hour today. We're over an hour because we'll always.
I'll do that 10 more minutes.
It's on your list.
Which list?
The
got a
show prep
question.
list. Ask a question from
Someone
the
asked
chat.
about a keeper. Anyone jump out at you? Maybe positive or negative?
I mean, De Gea was surprising.
Yeah.
Because you don't really see him do that. But it's the same that when Steph made a mistake against LAFC. It's unforgiving because every game as a striker, you know. Go ahead, man. I love it.
No mames.
We're gonna try and get away without him knowing who you thought performed the best because he
Get on the chair.
doesn't need the ego boost. If that wasn't on camera, sorry, you should have come to the Berliner pub.
I love it. What's up?
So Ugo's Mexi blanket was definitely on camera.
I'm good. Oh, man.
Do you have Ugo? Okay.
Nice. Wow.
So Ugo is here, and if you couldn't tell, he likes Mexico.
Y'all love that defeat of Germany. History, baby.
I love it.
No joke, this is exactly what I was wearing with my dad on Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Does
Isn't
Don
it too
Garber
hot
have
for
that
that
blanket?
Haven't you?
It's worth it, baby. It's worth it.
Have you taken it off since then?
Let's go.
He's not on the microphone or on camera, but it's still amazing.
Let me jump on this real quick. Go ahead.
Historic.
Wait, you just took Steve Zakawani off the
World Cup
microphone.
It was a historic World Cup game. One for the ages. I mean, can we? I know you guys haven't talked about it. I know y'all waited for me to talk about this.
We did.
Can we talk about Chucky? Can we talk about Chicharito? The legendary, the legend that is Osorio now? From being the most despised, successful coach in Mexican soccer history, who now, he is the man, he's a genius. Oh my God.
I love it.
Go.
I'm gonna be Mickey now.
I love it. Wow.
Let's go.
Hugo has joined the show.
Good evening, Hugo.
I made it, y'all. I made it. I'm not going to miss this chance.
I love it, man.
Sí se pudo. Sí se pudo. Sí se pudo. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
This is
I know what
great.
your favorite pick now is.
I'd just like to point out that Steve Zakawani can't stop laughing right now.
It's amazing. This is amazing.
This is what it's about.
love
This is
it.
World Cup right here.
Oh,
Man, I miss being at the World Cup.
Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie. This was like glorious. It was a glorious day, glorious morning, glorious performance, glorious historic moment for Mexican soccer to get a result like that when not a lot of people believe that we could do it.
Were you hoping for a draw? Was that like your goal? Was like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's get a 1-1.
That's what I was hoping going into it. I was like, you know what? If we play strong, don't turn the ball over. Take a couple of chances on some quick, returns. We could get a point. And man, after the first 5 minutes, I was like, yo, if they keep this up, we could beat them. And they kept it up, man. Some people might say that Germany had a bad game. though I think a lot of people recognize that Mexico played a quality match.
I agree. Yeah.
You'll have to listen back because Steve.
I said that's been the most impressive game. Was Mexico. You
Man.
guys were great tactically.
Across the board, everybody
deserved,
excelled at their role. We could have beat them by 2 or 3, man. If we could have finished a couple chances, we could, man.
Yeah.
That was a group that any of the non-Germanys could finish second. Like Sweden, strong. South Korea has been strong for a while. And now you look at that. You're the top of the group with Sweden.
Oh my God, dude, it's ideal. But they gotta keep focused because South Korea has. I grew up with my best friend being from South Korea, so we always talk smack and we watch those games. And South Korea always plays Mexico tough. They give us trouble. They're nonstop, man. They're probably one of the highest motor teams. Technically, maybe not as talented as others, but they're just motor doesn't stop and they just press you. So,
and you know Sweden will grind you.
We saw
you're
what
not
they did.
scoring more than a goal on Sweden.
No, they're not going to do what Germany did and allow us some space and opportunities to get possession by pushing up forwards. They're going to come at you and just make you earn it, man. You saw what they did too. It was not an entertaining match because it was just gritty. So we just got to we got to focus against South Korea, man. And I've always been a fan of Osorio. I've been a little frustrated with a lot of the rotation changes he's done, but not to the point where. Even after the 7-0, man, after that Chile 7-0, it hurt. That like hurts you in your soul. That kind of loss hits you in the soul. But man, he's always had results. He's always done well. He's prepared. Sometimes I think he might overthink it, but the man's just doing his work. And today it showed, man, that he put Mexico on the map.
Yeah, I would say that was a good addition for when he takes the U.S. job after the World
Cup. No, homie, don't play that. No.
That's who you want?
I think he's as good a choice as anybody. Otherwise,
history with MLS.
If they're going to go in-house with MLS and Berhalter,
that's a good shout.
That's fine, but Osorio would be a more interesting choice.
Somebody with some experience in the North American game.
Yeah.
I mean, Berhalter is certainly a reasonable choice.
Like, there are worse options than.
I agree. I never thought of that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Get your own coach.
You don't want him back for a second World Cup. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Just look at Germany and the United States for what happens when you bring somebody back for a second run.
It is tough to see a coach get more than one. To be honest, I get that, but still, at this point, I'll take him. I'll keep him. But soccer's crazy. Things
you can go
change.
through 7 coaches in a month again, and that'd be fun.
Yo. At least we're not like Spain letting somebody go
as well,
2 days before the World Cup, just because you got your ego got the better of you. Come on, man.
Yeah. Steve, what'd you think about that? The Spain coach.
I'm not surprised because the politics I don't think we understand between Barca and Madrid is so strong that when the head coach is now going to be the Madrid coach, PK, Iniesta, Jordi Alba, they're not comfortable because they're like, this guy's going to be coaching against us next year as the Real Madrid head coach. That can't work. So I think that was maybe a part of it. They're thinking the guy they put in charge, Fernando Hierro, was a Madrid player, but he has so much respect. He was such a well-capped, well-loved player that he was going to be a better person for that locker room than the future Real Madrid coach trying to give PK instructions.
Shouldn't the dude just waited like
I don't know why they announced it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Like, if it was one of those bears, like,
just wait. Yeah.
Understood that it's a secret. We all know it's going to happen. They could have gotten away with keeping him there.
Yeah, and he's a legend. He's the keeper that was, I think he was playing at Real Vallecano, and Casey Keller displaced him when he went to Spain. So that's the guy, the coach. So Casey told me that story a few times, so I remember.
Spain is just making all kinds of funky choices, though, too, man, with their government also releasing the whole settlement like 2-3 hours before.
For sure. That's with his head.
And how are you going to do that?
That didn't work out.
No, it didn't work. Paybacks, go to hat trick.
Seriously.
So you don't care.
Like, you come at him like that, he's like, oh man, you just don't do that, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Mexico against South Korea, though? I'm talking Mexico right now. All Mexico, South Korea.
I want to see Mexico do well, man. To
South
Mexico?
Korea?
South
Korea.
I think they win too. Yeah, I think you guys win, man.
Yeah,
I thrive on
it's pretty,
you guys.
pretty
misery.
clearly the favorites.
Yeah. I think
I don't have a team at the World Cup, man. So.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm just watching for the fun of it.
All right. Did I miss the conversation about U.S. men national team players supporting Mexico?
We did a
A
little,
little bit.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
oh my God.
Right in your veins.
oh my God. I would never. I don't think you will never see like.
Yeah, it's
That's crazy.
I mean, next up we'll find like former Sounders playing for Portland or something.
I don't know the
That's a good
dynamics of the money situation, and maybe in my lifetime I'll see it, but I just don't see. I may be wrong in the future. I just don't see a Mexican player taking money to do that. You just don't do that. There's certain unspoken rules. You just don't do that.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Landon's got his his own agent. I got some blowback for implicating MLS in some on the Twitters.
Well, they have nothing to do with it. He's not a summer MLS player right now. He's a Club Lyon player.
Right.
He hasn't been a U.S. national team player in
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Because some idiot decided he didn't need to go to the
To the
World Cup.
Yeah.
Just ended his contract with Leon. Leon did not.
Yeah,
renew.
Leon cut him today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I used to be critical of athletes getting paid, but now I'm all about the get paid while you can get paid. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you have the opportunity, take advantage of it. And plus, we're talking Landon Donovan money. We're not talking Cristiano Ronaldo money. Like,
Yeah.
yes, he's well off, but he's not like
Cristiano,
can retire for the rest of his
Messi,
life
yeah.
kind of money. So,
Right.
So get some Wells Fargo cash, because I pay them enough already.
I stay away from that particular.
They bought my VA
organization.
loan. I didn't really have a choice. Again.
LD.
All right, we've got about 8-ish minutes until karaoke. What's it called?
Karaoke?
Karaoke.
I thought you
Adam
said
wants us to
teriyaki.
Karaoke.
He
I want
did?
some teriyaki. It's going to start in 8 minutes.
Adam's off mic reminding us that we have 8
No,
minutes.
I actually have a microphone on my laptop.
Quite fancy.
I
do have one.
anyway,
Oh, go ahead.
So we need to talk about where you were, Hugo. I'd love to hear what your
Before you
evening
go,
and why
I
you
have to
came
bow
in late.
out. I have one more meeting, but I did 20 minutes extra
Yeah, you did.
because I
go. That was
love this
awesome.
place. You guys are great. Honestly, goes without saying. I appreciate you guys letting me on here. I love coming on. I'll be here anytime. Thanks for your support. Keep supporting the Sounders. Congrats.
No question.
Good luck rest of the way.
right here.
And I will
Hold on,
see
look
you
at
guys soon. And we'll be back here in 2 weeks with Eddie Johnson. So I'll bring him. Yeah.
KH18.
KH18.eventbrite.com. Go to my Instagram, go to my Twitter. It's all over there. We'd love to see you. You'll help us out a ton. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. 100%.
Nice. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming down.
So we're going to do a quick shift. We got about 5-10 minutes to chat about some other stuff. That's your phone, not mine.
I mean,
I'm just excited to see who's going to drink Steve Chardonnay when
He
it
already
shows
did.
up. I ordered another one
So
because I'm a good host.
if you're listening online,
but it's worth it.
if you're listening online, Steve originally said that he had 45 to 60 minutes with us. So basically,
What the hell
double
happened?
that, and that's how long he was
He
here.
spent the entire show,
I'm
basically.
hella hype.
Yeah,
A wild Ugo up here.
I know.
That actually is accurate.
and his answer was, "I've got another meeting." I'm like, I don't live in a life that has like.
Meetings
His meeting
at
is
9 p.m.
probably downtown Seattle
It's like I have another meeting.
or
with
East Side.
Thierry Henry.
Oh my God! I
Let's
heard
see,
that on the
Oba's
way
not in
here.
town. Clint's all the way out in like Cleellum or something like that, right? So
He's like, oh, he and Roberto Martinez are going to call me up after this show. So, seriously though, tell us what you were up to tonight.
Ugo.
Yeah, I just left the community vigil at a congregation of different churches from different religions in Normandy Park, which is just west of the SeaTac facility, where right now asylum seekers are being separated from their kids. All these mothers are at. So there was a vigil to get community together to share ideas on how you could be supportive. So I tweeted some information that was handed out at this gathering. It was really impactful to see a lot of different denominations of religion come together to speak up about what's going on right now. That's affecting everybody that's in right now, like in our neighborhoods, in our communities. So I found out last night that this was happening, and it overlapped. So I the crew here was really cool about me showing up, because some of the people that organized it were part of the people that supported the Buren election efforts last fall. So I'm trying to be as supportive to everything. Of course, is also to my community as an immigrant as myself. So yeah, I was doing that, man. It was good. I was really glad I went. So get that info, get my tweets. I'll resend it out. It's important to get
I just
information.
retweeted it.
That's right, at @MeBeTheSeattle. I have a couple photos on their recent tweets that have different ways that you can be supportive. These are interesting times, so it's important to be aware and try to do as much as you can. If it's going to a meeting or going to a gathering or donating or hosting somebody, there's opportunities for people to be able to help in any way.
If there was one thing that somebody could do.
One thing I would highly recommend to go to either a protest. There's right now weekly from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. down at the offices of Homeland Security downtown Seattle. There's people out there trying to get people to just have respectful protests to bring attention to what's going on. So do that. Just go to a gathering. Go to a gathering. I think that will help you see that there's other people just like you who are parents, who have kids, who would hate to have their kids separated from them when you're trying to help them, have a better life or escape a crisis in their homeland. So go to an event or gathering.
If there are enough people have listened to SonarFeed that they know we get a little political at times, but if you think, well, maybe the administration's right, their supposed claim that to seek asylum you must enter through a port of entry would mean that Osvaldo Alonso would be detained and returned.
Yeah. Let's just start there.
He did not come at a port of entry. He came at a Walmart.
Walmart, yeah.
Asylum.
We could probably find 50 other people.
Yeah, so the quick and dirty version is if you're seeking asylum, you're not worried about how to get there. You're just going to get there.
Yeah.
Because those that seek asylum are doing so in a way that...
regardless of political leanings, it is really about human rights. These are kids. The trauma that they're being put through is something that's going to literally change their brain functions and will impact them for life. It is about human rights. It's not about political rights. It's not about how you feel. It's about just being humane to other fellow human beings. So yeah.
I don't even know where to go from there.
So that's why Ugo was late.
Yeah.
But you showed up at the right time.
I did, no question.
So I'll say two things. One, thank you for doing what you do. Seriously, well done.
Thank you, brother.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, no, I will.
And two, thank you for just taking a minute out of that and having a little fun with culture and life and people and soccer and football, whatever you want to call it. Because I think it's hard to juggle.
Doing both is awesome, dude.
It is.
But
you've had a crazy 48 hours.
Yeah, no question about it, dude. It's definitely a lot of highs and not necessarily personal lows, but things that temper your highs. But it is important to not get burnt out and enjoy the things that are positive and try to be active and take action to what you can do with the things that are maybe not as positive. Everybody has their own way to manage those things and contribute and do things. So anytime anybody feels like they want to ask me questions about it, how to do a little bit more, or what I've been doing, I'm always happy to chat about it. Slide into my DMs.
Ugo,
Yeah,
Seattle.
just slide into my DMs, man. Yeah. We can talk activism, community activism.
Ugo for Senate 2020,
No, I'm on the commissions.
2024.
So at some point, karaoke's going to toss us out of here. By the way, is this like future night at Safeco?
They're doing a throwback night to the time that they did throw ahead night.
Right. And by the way, the ads are super awkward. As someone who works in marketing, they're terrible.
Yeah, so this was 1996's
Future
Turn
ads.
Ahead the Clock.
I was 16.
All
Over
the
here.
jerseys
And this
have
that
no
way.
sleeves.
Showing
left.
an old Mariners game.
Someone will drink it.
Like,
Don't worry, Ugo.
So
Shall we transition?
We should.
Do it.
briefly to what?
We either going to go to Adam's favorite segment,
oh, it's produced. It's got a
SonarFeed reads tweets.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually, since you
They'll
were
be
in
on
Vegas.
the screen right there
Yes.
in front of
Since
Mickey.
you were in Vegas, I'm going to have you read this one to us. It's about Vegas. It's from Matt
Oh
Oak.
my God, that Vegas trip.
Yeah, I will attempt to
Phone.
translate this.
Yeah, man.
Lee Young, GM to Bellagio I.
This was Matt Oak going to the Bellagio fountain. Has someone who did not work on the Matt Oak Drunk Translation Oak Twitter account? My years of living near Matt Oak tell me that that's what he was doing.
leaving
That sounds
game to
about accurate,
Bellagio.
yeah.
I don't understand the confusion.
It's 11 p.m. in Las Vegas.
Vegas time.
Exactly.
What was the problem, guys?
There's
It's the
not really
Bellagio
time in
fountain.
Vegas
Duh.
Who all want money? Who all want money?
What do you got next, Adam?
Since I don't have a good microphone, again, Mickey, go ahead.
Okay.
Mickey.
gets to read the
Sweet. One secret that debate champions don't want you to know is that you can actually win any debate by shouting ad hominem over and over and over again.
Ad hominem.
I know who that was. I don't even have a computer in front of me now.
That's just existential comics, so I don't think.
Is that like flipping
Yeah.
on the table, Monopoly?
As a former paid debate judge, that doesn't work.
Moving on.
Yeah, I don't know how to debate, but I'm gonna try to use it if I ever do.
Okay. Random reminder that if your apocalypse team does not include weavers, knitters, and sewers, you're probably going to die of hypothermia before you get the chance to build your Viking longhouse and all that other shit.
I'm sorry you didn't hear that one, Gerson. Okay, good.
I'm just going to sidebar here and point out that this is the first time that a non-liquor product has been drank out of Mark's mug.
That's actually pretty
That's
much
all
what we
vodka,
got
by
for
the
the
way.
night.
Oh my God.
But
But there's no carbs, so I'm good. See you tomorrow.
Is there another tweet to read?
Moving on.
Do we have
No
predictions
mames.
for Chicago?
Did you guys see the grandma?
No
tweet?
mames.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was amazing.
On the huge
Actually,
screen
there
TV.
is one thing I want Hugo to.
Ugo,
Ready?
Ready?
It's going to come up here.
it's gonna come there.
Hugo. Right here.
I got you.
Ready?
Got it.
Here
Se
it
le pasa a
comes.
Chicharito, Chicharito la tiene, dale. Se la da Chucky, el Chucky hace la movida, se la pasa el mismo. Es tiro. ¡Golazo! ¡México mete gol! ¡México le gana a Alemania! ¡México le va ganando! ¡Osorio! ¡Es grande México! ¡Es grande!
How did you memorize that?
All right.
We have that too, by the way.
I did. All right.
Oh my God, man! I see that.
Ship it again. Just ship it for the rest of the night.
The whole thing? Or just the no mames?
No.
My
Okay.
favorite thing is the 80% of the Berliner pub that's here that has no idea what's going on.
They were
Until
literally
80%.
like, I just had a schnitzel,
90.
and what the
Until
fuck
Ugo
just
starts-
happened? There isn't a schnitzel. God damn it, Tom.
They got
schnitzel right
pretzels.
now.
They got pretzels.
It has carbs. I'm not eating it. Sorry. Anyway,
Oh my God, that was glorious.
Other than the Mexi blanket that you're rocking right now, what else are you going to wear this week?
I'm wearing exactly the same thing that I wore for the Mexico match against
Like
Germany.
literally every day?
All week long. Same thing, and I'm gonna make menudo the night before with my mama, and then
Like
we're
the
gonna,
band?
No, like the amazing tripe soup that is delicious. Made that with my mom the night before. Gonna make it Friday night and get ready for Saturday morning. And I am really, really worried because South Korea, like I said, is scary when it comes to playing Mexico. But as long as we stay focused and play them like with the same intensity and focus as we did Germany, I think Mexico can get 3 points and be on their way.
So
No, I don't. If he doesn't
at some point we need to cede control of the bar to karaoke. So let's do two things.
Yes.
Let's throw out like a thing that we're excited to see happen this week. I do want that Sauvignon Blanc. Anyway, a thing we're excited to see happen this week in soccer. And the second thing, it has to be separate. The second thing is prediction for Saturday, Pride match, Sounders, Chicago, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Adam, you go first.
I am going to start with who they play?
Chicago.
Chicago. 17. And then
What?
I'm excited is I'm just enjoying watching them open up every year. It's awesome. It's the first time that they've really been able to experience it.
That is the most bullshit answer ever, but we'll accept it because SonarFeed. No, I do believe you. It's still a bullshit answer. So,
No, we brought the TV downstairs from the attic.
You found your TV?
I actually think,
And we're both together watching.
but genuinely, like when you don't have your national team to watch and you're just watching, I don't know. There's something to it. Where
is
you're
a lot
like,
of fun.
oh my god.
Yeah, but I think also you've only started to like really get into soccer fandom. How many years ago?
Yeah, it's only been the last. When did Reign start? 5 years, 6 years ago?
Right. So he's also relatively somewhat new, I think so. Kind of.
He has no expectations for the U.S. to be good because
Why do you have to drop so much haterade on Adam right now? How about we just let him have,
Honest, even if the
let Adam live. Let him live, Ugo.
No, I'm just
you'd root for the Shire.
You know what?
yeah.
What the fuck?
No mames.
No mames. Anyway, Adam, good job. Mickey, what do you got?
All right. Well, there actually is some interesting soccer legal stuff. We should have, I'm hearing, the appeal ruling on the Save the Crew appeal by MLS and PSV this week. If MLS and PSV lose the appeal, expect shit to hit the fan.
They'll just settle.
Well, that may eventually happen, but at that point, MLS then has to comply with the lower ruling, which means they have to turn over the financials.
So they'll settle.
And yeah, so they'll have to do the non-disclosure. So either they will sell the team.
So you're
to a
saying
local
MLS
buyer.
to Austin?
Not if they lose the appeal. They're going to either have to fork over a crap ton of money to get out of the lease.
MLS to Sacramento?
That's let's put that on the back burner for now. But yeah, that's the thing I'm looking forward to. That is of interest. Chicago,
What do you think the verdict's going to be on that appeal?
I think MLS and PSV are going to lose.
Wow.
Just because I don't think their briefing has been very good.
Switch
It's been
over to the TVs.
Terrible. Oh yeah,
Dude,
right.
it's going to be okay.
If we get that this week, that'll be something interesting to talk about next week. If MLS, blows a gasket and does something insane. And then for Chicago, looking forward to seeing a full team out there, healthy and ready to go. I was at practice today. Most of the team was out there. There were a couple of people who weren't there. I assume it was because of just giving some time off to some of the people who were at World Cup. You can probably guess who that is. So hopefully they'll be all fresh and ready to go this weekend. And I predict a 3-1 Sounders win.
3-1. Nice.
Damn. David.
I don't do predictions, so I'm going to skip to Chicago. That gives me two things to look forward to. I'm going to look forward to Mo Salah against Russia.
Is he going to actually get on the field?
I think so. I think once, yeah.
Is it because he is or is not pals with the Chechenian dude?
No, I think it just has to do with the fact that his arm got blown up
Yeah.
by Ramos. It's nothing
All right,
more
so
than
Mo
that.
Salah is your, I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see Mo Salah in the World Cup. I'm really desperate for that. Arab soccer is a big part of my history. I'll probably tell that story again this week on Sonar. And the other thing I'm looking forward to is hanging out with Adam and doing the dumbest S2 thing possible.
Which is?
Reenacting plays using action figures.
Oh, just like Univision. I don't know if you guys watch Univision
Wait,
in the World
really?
Cup. They didn't have the rights to like Telemundo.
Yes.
So on replays, they're using action figures.
Fuck.
To
You got to come up with
Oh,
something
wait,
better.
No. They're like digital action figures.
Oh,
not-
no. I have like Splinter
Wow.
and Leonardo
Yo, yeah.
That's going to be dope.
and G.I. Joe and the Incredible Hulk.
Text Seth Green, and he will be so excited.
No,
Yeah.
it's me, Adam, and Casey.
I love it. Team Michelangelo. I will leave it'll be 2-0 in Chicago, or against Chicago, not in Chicago. It's here. So 2-0 Sounders. I am looking forward to seeing
Mexico.
new hopeful Sounder to get starting playing time or more minutes than last game.
Rui Diaz.
So over,
Yeah,
under, handballs in the box. 1.
6.
5.
No, really.
And of course, I don't know. I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay.
And then, of course, Mexico, Mo Salah, just the World Cup in general, man. I'm obviously biased. It's been a lot of more fun when you win, so you get really, really into it. So just catching as many of the games as I can. Tomorrow, Colombia. I'm excited about Colombia. Yeah, against Japan.
That's a good matchup, though.
Huh?
Kind of random,
Yeah.
but fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1-0 good guys on Saturday. Epic fucking Pride weekend. Let's go Seattle. And I would say World Cup, like I'm having a hard time picking a thing. So I'm kind of with you. Like last 3 or 4, I feel like I've had a team or two. I've been like, yeah, follow them. This one I'm like, let's just keep going like this.
Yeah.
And I'm fine if like Portugal or somebody else wants to roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's been super fun.
Yeah, dude.
I would say all in. Like there hasn't been a game where I'm like, oh, you got smoked. This is boring.
Yeah, no, I
Even the
agree.
teams that have been outclassed. But like, who would have picked 3 threes? Like, I love Barn Burner, but 3-3 Spain, Portugal.
Crazy. No, but even like the game Morocco and Iran, that was a really good game.
Dude, Iran is at the top
Dude,
right now.
If they're really good at their game. They bunker and counter. If they might shock people. I have my coworkers from Iran, so I'm rooting for them. Morocco's really good. They got outplayed in their strategy. I think
Dude, Morocco's gonna get smoked.
you never know, man.
About 60 minutes through, I was like, Morocco, yeah. Nope.
I don't know.
I have to tell you, I think genuinely just watching soccer, not you're close, and I love Mexico. Mexico looked legit good in the mid, and we talked about this before
That's
you were
the strength.
here. They played 5 mids on purpose,
Yeah.
and they worked the counter.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna have to
made
listen
it
back
happen.
because
I will. I totally will.
I gotta tell you, if they like customize a lineup team by team, Mexico's scary.
Yeah, dude. Our thing has been inconsistency, so we can improve that every game a little bit and keep that same momentum in the middle. We will do well. We play as well as our middle plays. Our defense, our strikers depend on the middle, so it's all about our midfield.
But like, you look at that team, you're like, oh, Vela in the middle, and you're like,
Oh, he played well too, though, man.
Dude, they look super good.
They all really did.
And like Memo, like
no mames. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. I kind of thought that Germany might smoke him, and he did not give up.
He was clutch. He reminded me of that Brazil game he had last World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
And you know, every World Cup felt. Any Gold Cup, any tournament has a team that makes a run. Mexico's got a little bit of a look right now.
I just want my dad to watch a 5th game. He told
Don
me.
Gama.
Yeah, he hit
shout
me
out
up
to Don Gama.
2 games before, the day before. He tells me, "Don't get too emotionally into it." I'm already.
He's watched a couple of Mundials.
Dude, he's been. You know, he was at the 70 and the 86, and he's
both in Mexico.
Both in Mexico. He's like, I've already accepted the fact that I may not watch a 5th game. I might have 2 World Cups left in my lifetime. And getting that is like that gets to the heart of why it is more than just a sport, and it's a world sport, and it just means so much. So I'm glad I'm able to share that big moment here with you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm excited, man. Can't wait to see more football.
Mickey has important things to say.
Oh, no, I actually don't.
Mickey has a thing to say.
No, we also had a good time this weekend at the S2 game down in Vegas.
You guys did.
So 2 minutes, go.
Yes. It was a good time. There's a couple of people here who went down. We had about 60 people roll down for S2. I'm sure the players were a little bemused by seeing that many people down there for a
Estrada tweeted at ECS and was like, good job.
Right. But we had a good time. We rented a couple limos. We arrived to the stadium in style.
And by limos, you mean
Stretch H2.
Big stretch limos. Yep.
In
Rave green.
Yes.
And pink.
Yeah.
Was one of them like a armored
and
truck
an
or something?
armored
yeah,
car?
An armored truck was the third vehicle that accompanied us on the road to the game.
So epic.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time, and you can see why there's a chance that MLS may want to get interested down there.
Yeah,
because it's a quick trip to for the West Coast teams. So easy away,
easy trip.
Support.
Yeah, every airport goes there.
They have a reasonable fan base.
3 highlights, quick hits, go.
The pool party, obviously.
Naughty by nature,
obviously. And just having a big crew down there to enjoy the game. It was a great time, even though the result wasn't.
Props to everybody that organized
great.
it. It seemed like there was a ton of people logistically, so props to whoever organized the trip.
Yeah, it went off without pretty much a hitch. So
I'm actually shocked.
Yes.
Having paid attention from my living room, I was like, no one died. Interesting.
Everyone made it to where they were supposed to go.
The best part was there's literally a Google Doc where there were rankings of who would die and who would be arrested. Neither of those things happened to anyone, which is kind of horrifying.
That we know of.
Having been to Las Vegas multiple I went 3 times in 4 weeks once in my life.
He's still here to tell the tale.
And I thought I would die or be arrested literally every time.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. That's way too much Vegas.
How's your Chardonnay? So, anyway.
Let's say goodnight, everybody.
We're out.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Berliner. Downtown Renton.
Third main.
Head of the curve. Woo! We'll be back next Monday.
No mames!
Some of us will.
And in 2 weeks, Eddie Johnson.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
apparently Eddie Johnson.
Wow. Here in 2 weeks.
Because that guy.
Steve Zakawani is now booking the show.
Good night, John Boy.
Or Wesley Snipes. That's a Demolition
Good
Man
night, Adam.
From
Not y'all.
No mames!
No mames!